Chapter 1. Concentration of Production and Monopoly. The enormous development of industry and the extremely rapid concentration of production in ever larger enterprises constitute one of the most characteristic peculiarities of capitalism. Modern industrial statistics give us complete and exact information on this evolution. In Germany, for example, for each 1,000 industrial enterprises, the important ones employing more than 50 salaried officials numbered 3 in 1882, 5 in 1895, 9 in 1907. And out of every 100 workers employed, this group of enterprises employed 22, 30, and 37 respectively. Concentration of production, however, is much more intense than that of manual labour, since the work of the great enterprises is much more productive. This is shown to us by the figures available about steam engines and electric motors. If we consider what is called in Germany industry in the wide meaning of the term, that is, including commerce, transport, etc., we get the following picture. Big enterprises, 30,588 out of a total of 3,265,623. That is to say, 9%. These big enterprises employ 5,700,000 workmen out of a total of 14,400,000. That is 39.5%. They use 6,600,000 horsepower out of a total of 8,800,000. That is 75%. And 1,200,000 kilowatts of electricity out of a total of 1,500,000. That is 80%. Less than 1/100th of the enterprises possess 3/4 of the steam and electric power of German industry. 2,197,000 small enterprises, employing up to 5 workmen, constituting 91% of the total number, receive only 7% of the driving power, electric and steam. A few tens of thousands of big enterprises are everything. Millions of small ones are nothing. In 1907, there were in Germany 586 establishments employing over 100 workers. They held 1/10, 1,380,000, of the manual labour, and almost 1/3, 32%, of the driving power. Finance capital and the banks make this superiority of the biggest enterprises, as we shall see, still more crushing, in the most literal sense of the word, since millions of employers, small, average, and even great, are in reality attached completely to some hundreds of millionaire financiers. In another advanced country of modern capitalism, the United States, concentration of production is still greater. Here, statistics deal with industry in the narrow sense of the word, and group enterprises according to the size of their annual output. In 1904, there were in the United States 1,900 enterprises out of 216,180, that is 0.9%, with an annual output valued at more than $1 million. They employed 1,400,000 workers out of 5,500,000, i.e. 25.6%. And their annual output was valued at $5,600 million out of 14,800 million, i.e. 38%. 5 years later, in 1909, the corresponding figures were: big enterprises, 3,060 out of 268,491, i.e. 1.1%. Employing 2 million workers out of 6,610,000.